So welcome. This is the RE Leaders Lab for the theme of April and resistance. I have a few announcements, just like church. First is that I have Can Do Summer program of 8 short, simple sessions. It's in final production, and you'll start hearing some things on the Facebook page and in our publicity about when I'm going to do a little deep dive into it as an introduction, and then we'll get the web page up. And if you're interested, you can get that for this summer. It's to go with last summer's, what did it come? Oh yeah, Magic Summer. That's the first one. Is the summer one's almost ready to come out. And the second announcement is that our themes for next year are going to start to be established, and you'll start seeing publicity from us about setting the themes. And I just want to encourage all the religious educators to be a part of that. It used to be just the ministers years ago, and now we have a really nice way of religious educators being involved. So please do take advantage of that and give us your feedback. I have some opening words about resistance. This is from the worship packet by David Bredden. Now, there is unbroke and invoke. There is provoke, and there is awoke. There is justice, there is injustice, and there is just us. To make justice and love happen. So the theme of resistance, and I'll tell you, religious educators come to this month that includes Easter, and we are like offering a smorgasbord, because this month includes Ramadan, Vesak, which is about Buddha's birthday. It includes Passover, Easter, Palm Sunday, all of those associated holidays. And what's a DRE to do with all of the things that we're supposed to be helping our children understand? This, for me, is the reason we do thematic ministry. So not only do we introduce these holidays, but we have a through line of resistance. This month, there'll be 5 different paths that we introduce to the children about resistance. The 5 lenses, paths that we talk about are: we walk the path of resistance and we breathe. That's honoring Vesak. We walk the path of resistance and we speak truth to power. That's honoring Easter this year. We walk the path of resistance and we change habits. That's honoring Earth Day. We walk the path of resistance and we stick with it, and that's honoring Ramadan. You may notice that we aren't exactly offering these on the exact date that they take place in April. We encourage you to just say we're exploring this, and we're not actually celebrating Ramadan or Easter or Passover on a certain day like the people of that faith are. So in a little bit of a switch from the way I usually write these packets, which is 1 or 2 books as options, this time we recommend 2 books for each session, because that's a way of introducing the holiday and introducing the path. So for instance, in Speak Truth to Power, when we honor Easter, there's one about the path of resistance suggested by our Widening the Circle review and research team, called Peaceful Fights for Equal Rights, which is a great little book. And then about the holiday, there is The Easter Story by Brian Wadsmith. There it is behind me. So let's tease out the 5 different paths that we have included in this packet. The first is resisting by breathing and honoring Vesak. So we resist by staying calm and centered. And of course, the big faith that centers that, excuse me, is Buddhism. So we suggest the book On's Anger And then actually, I couldn't find any single good picture book about Vesak. So I found a lovely video about Vesak, introduced by 4 preteens who were Buddhist. Excuse me. So the second lesson is resisting by speaking truth to power when we honor Easter, as I mentioned before. So Jesus came into Jerusalem and he spoke to the powerful leader of Jerusalem. These leaders were government and the leaders of the Pharisees at the time, the Jews. And he spoke truth to power. He turned over the table saying, you guys are just collecting money. That's all you're doing. And ultimately it led to his death. And that's the story. And let me show you this Easter book. The reason I like all of Brian Wildsmith's books is they're just glorious for reading aloud. He doesn't go into a lot of the doctrine and I don't know what I call inappropriate stuff for Unitarian children, but he does tell the story in a beautiful way. And I just wanted to show you. Look at how lovely it is to read. A little bit of text telling the story. There's the disciples coming in and he meets this little donkey. We'll skip a few pages and then just glorious pictures of what might have looked like. So that's the Easter story by Brian Wildsmith. I also have the 3 other books that I use. It was from my old picture book Bible Tales that I first put those in, and I just love them for reading aloud. And in the Wonder Box, I suggest doing a little megaphone cone thing because, as you know, we're speaking truth to power. And how do you do that? Oftentimes it's with a megaphone. And I like to take care of our DREs. I don't want to send you out on a goose chase for a megaphone that will take you half a week to find. Make one out of a piece of recycled paper and it does, whoops, and it does just fine. Oh, there it goes. Speaking truth to power. Okay, just wanted to mention easy ways to do things. The third session is joining together. We walk the path of resistance by joining together, and that's honoring Passover. So this is Wonderbox is using Legos because when you join together and build a wall, that's a lot stronger than one separate person or Lego. I wanted to mention this book I found, Whispering Town. It's a picture book about how the Danes joined together in a fishing village to save the Jewish people during the Nazi invasion of Denmark. There used to be a book, there is a book called Number the Stars by Lois Lowry, but it was a chapter book and it really didn't lend itself to reading out loud to a lot of children of elementary school age. And so we found this nice Whispering Town book. I just love it. And since my former father-in-law was one of the Danish Jews who helped the people escape to Sweden, I just love this story. So it's a family connection there. And then, of course, so that's the joining together book. And then the Passover book we suggest is Exodus by Brian Wildsmith, again telling the story in beautiful gold-rimmed pages and just as glorious as the Easter story. And I put Joseph back there just so you can see. There's several other in his series, one just called Jesus and one just called Mary, which if you ever do Feminine Path to the Divine with children is a great one too. And I just wanted to reminisce about doing a Lego Play Sunday when I was a DRE for 15 years back in the day. At one congregation I served, we did Block Sunday or Lego Play Sunday, and the kids got real excited to say, oh, we're doing Legos in church today. And lots of them just said how excited they were to just play with Legos. And then, of course, your moral of the story is put them together and see how strong they are. That's how we join together for resistance. In addition, I would also recommend, if you have the energy, to offer a Seder. There's several examples. I put links in to simplified Seders. And that is the meal that the family would partake of on Passover. So there's horseradish to taste. There's haroset, which is a sweet apple mixture that represents the glue between the blocks of the pyramids that the enslaved Hebrews were building. There's parsley, the bitter herbs. There's a little bit of wine or grape juice. And it was just a really fine way to learn about the story. Oh, and the 10 plagues too. All right, so that's joining together and Passover. That's number 3. Number 4, lesson D, is resisting by changing our habits. That's the session on Earth Day, which in a spiritual community, I consider one of our sacred holidays of April. And I have a little caveat. The first book, recommended again by Widening the Circle research team, is called We Are Better Together. It's all about taking care of the earth. And then the second book is called What a Waste. And I just wanted to show you something. These paper clips are your friend for a book like What a Waste, because it's 65 pages long. It's not the kind of thing you'd read cover to cover to the children. However, I wanted to find resources that don't duplicate the things they're doing in school. And this book has all kinds of new lenses and information that I didn't know about how we can take care of the earth, other than the usual stuff that they'll be getting in school. And what I would do with the children is, first of all, paperclip the ones that you're not interested in at all. And then go through the index and say, so what haven't you heard about? What shall we read today? It's very empowering when they get the sense that they can choose. And then read those chapters. And fortunately, there's boxes with small print, and then there's a big print that would be the one you'd read for a group story. Then there's several suggestions for the Explore It. There's Junk Sculpture, which is a go-to of mine, where you bring in recyclables and you build things with duct tape. And you pretty much just say, here, build something, and you'd be really amazed at what the kids come up with. There's a suggestion for how to change a habit based on research, and they might want to come up with that. And then there's Oobleck, which is the cornstarch and water play. And the moral of that story is, when you squeeze really hard and you try not to change your habit, you stay the same, it gets hard and nothing happens. But when you let go of Oobleck, it softens and drips out of your hand and changes. So to change a habit, you just let go and change gently. Thank you, Becky. The 5th session is resisting by sticking with it. This is our Ramadan lesson. And the idea is, if the children get the sense that if you were Muslim and you were old enough, you would be asked to fast during the daylight hours for 30 days. That's sticking with it. That's being persistent. And the connection to resistance is to just be persistent. To resist is to be persistent and to stay with our values. There's 2 books. One is The Tortoise and the Hare, the classic Aesop's fable about the slowness, and the slow, steady guy wins the race. That's the resistance and the perseverance. And then the one about Ramadan is called Lila's Lunchbox. Really nice story that came out. And it's about how Lila, who's now in a US, I think, elementary school, needs to explain to her teacher why she's not wanting to go to the cafeteria to eat lunch. She's starting to do the fast for the first time in her life, and how she's helped by the librarian who invites her to the library during the lunch hour. So those are our 5 resistance lessons. And I want to lift up that we put additional books in the back of the packet so that you can swap out if you want to. And those additional books this month, especially, were all recommended by our Widening the Circle research team. And they're great books. I just wish I could put tons of books in, but I want to give you book options. There's wisdom tales to choose from on the theme of resistance, as well as a message moment. This is a memory of mine coming to, what was it, a Madison, Wisconsin winter intensive that we went to in February. And Nick Page was the keynote speaker, and he led us in Freedom is Coming. And we just sang that, 150 people in the Frank Lloyd Wright Church, echoing underneath the rooftop. It was wonderful. If you ever get a chance to do that, please take it. And then there's also the little page with the Soul Work table suggestion. And this month there's Legos, an acrostic poem, peace signs, simple things that can be done in the sanctuary while everyone is learning together. So I wanted to close with some closing words, Reverend Lynn Cox, on resistance. Creative Spirit, source of life and love. Thank you for the breezes of change clearing our heads. Thank you for oceans of love, rivers of connection. May we take this clay and co-create a new realm of justice and beauty. Amen. May it be so.